Good afternoon, folks. I'm here with Patrick Feaser. I want to thank you for attending, Patrick. We apologize for being a little bit late. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Damon Stoddard. I am the person that started the group, Strong Men, Strong Marriages. And I believe in my entire heart that when there's a strong man, there's a strong man. When there's a strong man, there's a strong marriage. When there's a strong marriage, there's a strong family. And strong families will change the world. Patrick Feaser is a friend of mine. We've been coaching football together for a while, and he's also one of my first clients in Change University. So, Patrick, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming.
Thanks, Damon. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. So, hey, Patrick, can you do me a favor and just share how we met?
Yeah, well, I think it was August last year, I came to football camp up at Cedar Park, and just took my 10-year-old Christopher up to play. And I met you on the sidelines, as well as a couple other dads and a couple other coaches. And you asked me at that time, my experience in football, and at that point invited me to come along and help with the coaching staff. Didn't really feel that I was ready at that point, and I'm a real estate broker, so my schedule is not always the best for being able to commit to something. But you said, hey, make it when you can. And fortunately, I was able to. I believe we had somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 practices and games combined. And I think I missed half a game and half a practice. So being part of that coaching staff was really special. Being a part of a bunch of Christian men that really cared about the kids, as well as, instilling God in them and helping them to be their best at what they do, it was what really attracted me.
Excellent. That's one of the things I like so much about you, Pat, is that you are one of the most accountable guys that I know. You showed up every night, you gave it your heart, and I really enjoyed getting to know you. So one of those times, one of the mornings, I reached out to everybody and I said, hey guys, let's get together for breakfast and just pray for the boys by name. And you decided to come. It was pretty early in the morning though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we met right around 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Out of Panera Bread, I think it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about that. What did you think of that meeting with the guys? And
I thought it was awesome.
In a different setting.
It was a good chance to sit down, have a cup of coffee, breakfast, and plan out not only what we're going to do, but really take a bit of time to pray by name for each kid. And to me, that was really special. And because I remember hearing you talk about that in an email I believe you sent out
at
the beginning of the year. And I thought, wow, really? They're praying for my kid? And to be part of that and to pray for each one of these kids as I got to know them, it was really special. It was different.
Yeah, and it kind of bonded us as a coaching staff too, didn't it?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, I know you guys I still consider a good friend.
Yeah, excellent. So one of those times I changed things up a little bit and I said, hey guys, I'm going to do something different. Let's just go around and share a personal prayer request. Do you remember that meeting?
Trying to remember what that was. I vaguely remember the meeting. I'm not sure I remember my prayer request.
Oh, I don't remember what your prayer request was, but the reason why I bring it up, Patrick, is a number of the coaches have told me just how much that meant to them. And I was surprised because I've been in men's groups for years and years and years. And what I found out later is a lot of men are not in men's groups. And that was a very powerful experience. How about you? Was that new to you as well?
It was definitely new. It was, it felt like being able to pray with somebody who was similar to you without facing fear of judgment. It was great.
Yeah, thank you. So we ended up going to movies. Went and saw a manly movie. What was it? 12 Men Strong, I think. And then I called you up a couple weeks later, and I shared with you that I really felt God was putting it on my heart to start a new a business for men, a coaching business for men. I called it Change University. And we had a conversation on the phone. Can you share with the guys that conversation? And
yeah, this was really kind of an answer to prayers for me, because I'd been kind of struggling at home and and trying to figure out how I could best balance life in general. And you called and you said, hey, I'm looking at doing this. It's a way of being accountable, you could actually take measurements of this and determine how we're going to go forward and help you, to deal with being a better father, being a better husband. For me, it was definitely an answered prayer. I was looking forward to it.
What's interesting about that is the Holy Spirit has this way of just gently nudging you. And I thought about calling you for a couple of weeks. I'm like, I don't know if I want to call this guy or not. He's just going to tell me I'm. And when I called you and you said you were praying about it, I thought, God is in this. This is really good. So thanks for taking my call. So now let's get to something a little bit deeper. So one of the things that we do in the Change University groups is we have men share their stories, and you shared your story. And I think for our listeners, it would be really beneficial for people to understand a bit about your background. Okay. And before you share this, I just want to say thanks for your willingness to be vulnerable here. I know it's not the easiest thing to people that you've never even met.
Yeah, it's I think like a lot of men, I'm not always the proudest of my past. I was married at a young age and focused really hard, on my relationship to get married. But once I got married, I kind of neglected it and went on about, working on my career and things like that. Well, I think a marriage is sort of like a garden. If you don't tend it,
I love that.
It dies.
I love that.
My first wife found somebody else who paid attention, and my marriage ended.
Sorry to hear that.
Painful, and I'm sure I've met a lot of other guys, that have been married, been through that. I don't wish that pain of divorce on anyone, but it taught me a lot of lessons. So, overall, I'm thankful for where it's brought me because God worked on me through it. Without the pain of that, I'm not so sure I would have come to it. Yeah.
So how did you respond to that pain?
Not well at first. I didn't drink, like some people do, but at that time, I did pick up chain smoking for about a year.
You were a smoker?
I was for about a year. It's embarrassing now I think about it. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do that anymore. But I lost a lot of weight. I think I lost about 40 pounds in a matter of about 3 weeks. Really didn't deal with it well. I did get down on my knees and pray, which I'm thankful because you really have one of two ways that people tend to deal with these, and it's either you go towards God or away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I chose toward, but at the same time, for me, letting go of the reins of my life was really, really difficult. And it took a number of years.
Yeah. So after you did that, did you start to see God's hand work in your life after you finally surrendered? And the reason why I bring this up is a couple of days ago, I shared a post in here about Jesus and the night he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, how he knew what was coming. And he got on his knees and he begged. He begged so hard that he prayed so hard. He didn't beg. He prayed hard. He said, Father, if this is your will, let it be done. But not my will, but thine be done. And it says immediately after that, angel came to strengthen him. Did you experience anything like that when you finally surrendered?
It took me a lot of years before I actually finally surrendered. But I tried over and over again to help God to find me that right person and failed miserably. And it came to a point where I got fed up with it. And I got down on my knees and I said, God, I don't want to be single. But if you want me to be single, just help me to be okay with that. Yeah. If not, then you find me the one because I'm terrible. First time in my life, I really let go. And I felt a peace that I don't think I've ever felt before. And I strive to get that feeling again. But within 1 month, there was my future bride.
Oh, no way. That's crazy.
Incredible.
And how long have you been married now?
We've now been married going on 13 years.
13 years, and how many children?
We've had a total of 4. She had one when we were married. And we've had 3, and one is home with Jesus right now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been devastating.
It was. It's something that, you ask at the time, you start to ask, why me? And then you have to stop and ask, well, why not me? Why somebody else?
Yeah.
But I kind of look at it now as I know that I have one child that's with Jesus.
Oh, very, very nice.
Now I've got to focus on the other 3.
Excellent. So with that, let's just kind of talk about the Change University men's group you're in. So you said you had never been a part of a men's group before. Is that right?
No, I never had.
So tell me about your experience in that group. You guys have been meeting for a couple months now, right?
Yeah, we meet on Thursday mornings at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is fun.
Another 6 o'clock in the morning meeting.
Yep, another 6 in the morning meeting. It was one of those things where men, we typically say, "Well, I don't have time." Well, make time. For me, these other gentlemen that I've come to know and love, just amazing guys, and it's been a chance to sit down. We discuss what we've been going through in the week. We listen to each other. We encourage each other. And then at the end, we pray together. And ultimately, I think the best thing about this whole program is the accountability. And you've set up in the program metrics, it's the way we can measure whether or not we're doing what we say we're doing.
Yeah.
It's been exciting.
I'm glad to hear that. I like to tell people that Change University will hold you ruthlessly accountable.
Yeah,
it doesn't let you slip, does it?
No. Recently, you stepped out and said, I told you I'd been kind of overwhelmed with things.
Yeah.
And you said, well, what are you doing? Are you taking care of you? And I said, well, I can't really. I don't really have time, to go to the gym or do anything like that. And you're like, well, why not? So you kind of gave me some good suggestions on how I could do that. Hey, can you maybe do your prayer? Because I was doing my devotional, my prayer in the morning. And you said, well, can you do that at the gym? While you're on the treadmill.
Multitask.
Yeah. And I thought, well, that actually makes sense. So I've been going recently, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and just a chance to get back in the gym and a little bit of sweating going, and brings me kind of clarity to my day. But at the same time, even if I don't want to go, I know that I've got to enter that metric in, and I know that I'm going to be held accountable. So it's where I might just, if it was just me, I might let it go. Knowing that I'm going to be held accountable just gives me that extra little push that says, "Yeah, you got to get in there." And
so for the viewers on the I'm getting some feedback here. I apologize. For the viewers on the line, Change University, one of the things that we do is we say, how would you measure your success? And you come up with a metric, and then what we do is we say, how often do you want to measure this? And you get a text message, and all you have to do is put a number in there as to whether or not you did that and some comments, and you're done. And it records that data relative to your goal. And then in the group, you pull that metric up, and you're kind of accountable to your brothers about how you're doing. And it's kind of addictive, isn't it?
It is. It's habit forming, which is good habits, because we all create habits, good or bad. It's a matter of whether you choose to stick with the good ones or hang with the bad ones. Yeah. So this whole thing has been positive about helping me form proper habits.
Excellent, Pat. Excellent. So what are some of the results that you're seeing? Now we're talking a lot about process, but what are some of the results?
Well, I'm getting in better shape, but 2.
Yeah, you're looking like a beast, man.
Thanks. My marriage is improving. It's a great thing to sit down with other godly men and discuss ways that you can improve your deficiencies.
Yeah.
I think Satan wants us to be isolated, and because then he can make you feel like you're the only one going through this. When you sit down and you talk to these guys and you go, "Wow, you go through that too? How did you deal with that?" And the situations that come up, you realize you're not alone, and you can get some really good advice on how to deal with things. And there's countless books and audio tapes and everything else we're going through. I no longer watch TV. I read books.
Sorry. Leaders are readers.
Yeah,
absolutely. So we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and you shared something that actually was the inspiration for the name of this group. Do you remember what that was?
I believe I said strong fathers, great strong families.
That's correct. Yeah. And I thought that really is cool. I love that. Strong fathers, strong families, strong men, strong marriages. And what do you think about that? Tell me about your thought, and just for the guys on the line that are having marriages that are struggling and things aren't working out, and they're waiting for their wife to change, and they're saying it's their wife's fault, and if she would change, everything would be ready. What would you say to those men? And this is unscripted, by the way, for those of you on the call. What would you say to those men?
I'd say change what you can change, which is you. You're the only one that can change. And then by doing that, I found that typically wives want to follow your lead. So if they see that you're being honest, being sincere, and you're actually looking at making this change, and it's got to be something sustained over time. This is not going to happen, I'm good today and she's going to follow me tomorrow. But if you can continue and persevere with it, they tend to follow, and then the kids follow along with it. For me, I was realizing, you pointed out, I was kind of being a perfectionist at home.
Oh, yeah.
And my stress was being imputed to my wife and kids, and I realized I don't want to do that.
Wow.
So I had to feel, how am I going to change this? How can I bring them the joy instead of my stress? My kids have, one of my kids is dealing with massive anxiety, and my wife has been dealing with some of that too. And I realize now that that's my responsibility, that I can make a change, and in doing so, it can affect them. So it's opening up doors to me that I didn't see before, helping me to pull that plank out of my eye instead of looking for the flaming berries. It's a neat thing.
Do you have more energy now than you had, or less energy?
Well, the funny thing is, I'm not sleeping any more than I did, and I've been in for a sleep study recently because I was just so exhausted. And don't get me wrong, I could still lay down and take a good nap, but I'm not.
I might do that today, actually.
I don't feel like I'm exhausted on a regular basis. I have more energy. It's energizing. So I'm figuring out how to fill my love bucket and my wife's, so we can fill, it'll overflow into our kids. Because honestly, both of our buckets were empty, and when your bucket's empty, you can't give anything to anyone else.
I like that. I like that a lot. I didn't know you were going to say that, but let me just see if I can rephrase what I heard you say. What I heard you say is you have more energy, you have a better marriage, your kids are doing better, there's more peace in your home, and there's more joy, yet it hasn't taken you any more time.
Correct.
That sounds like magic to me.
It's work. I mean, it's not something that, without you doing it, without you doing the actions, it's not going to do it by itself. But yeah, if you do the actions, the results follow.
So you and your wife started a ritual a couple weeks ago. What is that ritual, and how's that working?
Okay, well, one, we're praying together, but we're also doing face-to-face time. I sit down each night, and we just put everything else down and talk to each other face-to-face. Committed to trying to get more date nights in.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
To get some alone time, some weekend alone time. And it's tough. We're little boys that are active in sports and everything else, but it's a matter of setting the priorities. And we both agreed that we're kind of we believe in the triangle where God is at the top and we're at the bottom. But as we draw closer to God, we draw closer to each other. So it is driving us closer together. And I could not be more thankful because quite honestly, our marriage had stagnated. We still loved each other, but we were becoming more roommates. And I don't want that. I'm not going through another divorce.
Good for you.
I love my wife very much, and I love my kids, and I don't want to do that to either one of them or to God. I believe I want to honor Him with this marriage. So
okay, Patrick, I'm so thrilled to hear that. So one last thing here. This has been a lot of fun, by the way. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you taking the time out of the day to do this. We had a conversation about church because one morning I noticed that you were at church and your family wasn't with you.
Yeah, well, I'm being in real estate. I have oftentimes where I'll have other commitments, and I would, I got to get there early because I have to go do something in real estate. Now I'm going. My wife sat down. We sat down together and decided we're going to pick a service. We're going to go to it. And the other things that we have to wait.
You put God first.
Yeah, I had to put Him first, and then I trust that everything else will fall in line. And honestly, it's already starting to.
That was only a couple of weeks ago, and there was a bit of a breakthrough. I don't want you to share any details or break any confidences, but there was a bit of a breakthrough recently at church. Is that right?
Absolutely.
And you shared with me that as a result of that breakthrough, that you and your wife are closer than you've ever been.
We are closer than we have been probably since we got married. Yeah.
That is amazing. You know what? It stems from your obedience. I am so honored to call you friend. So honored to be a part of your walk, and I really think that you've blessed a lot of people here today. So I just want to say thanks. And for those of you that are on the call, I just want to share that Change University, I offer a free 45-minute phone call if you're interested in talking about your situation and seeing if I can help you. I'd love to help you. There's no cost to that, and I hope you can see that my heart is to serve you. It's my heart is to help men be stronger men and have stronger families and stronger marriages. So, hey, thank you very much, Patrick, and thanks for everybody that was here. Take care. I'll leave this on the screen here for just a sec. Bye. You can actually go to that link and you can find my calendar and schedule some time with me. So thanks a lot, Patrick. Take care. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Have a great day.